Well, yeah, punishment. So I'm very fond of punishments. Everyone wants to go to heaven. Let me try the heaven.
No pace, no timing. I just wanted to get this medal home.
Run smart, not fast. For me, it is like I'm not getting an Olympic medal. If I have to run that time target, then I should be below 3 hours. If I'm doing a 3 hour below run, then I'm doing something else. Then I am as good as getting a medal at 5 hours also. See, in anyhow, body always give up first. So mentally, how strong you are and how positive you are thinking, then that only helps you to cross the finish line. When we saw the light, I was like, "Sapna, light दिख रही है, वही finish है. चल भागे यहाँ से."
And honestly, I mean, it was a very strong finish, and the recovery was also very good. So, you know,
Yeah,
I'm
yes.
happy with that.
Some races are designed to test far more than the fitness. The Hell Race at the India-Pakistan border in Jaisalmer is one of them. Starting at noon, under a brutal desert sun, runners face relentless heat, headwinds, endless sand dunes, followed by freezing nights and long stretches of isolation. This race is not about speed or personal bests. It is designed to disrupt rhythm, exhaust patience, and strip away comfort. Quite simply, it's not for the weak of the will. To talk about all of this and more today, on the show we have 4 exemplary women ultra runners who will tell us all of these details in their own way on the show. Rena Solanki, a seasoned ultra runner and a fitness and nutrition coach who knows what it takes to return to the start line again and again. Nidhi Gupta, an ultra runner who has completed 15 ultras in under 2 years, running for distance and joy. Sapna Gupta, a fitness professional, ultra runner, and mother of 2 who believes in balance and lifelong strength. Sugandha, an endurance runner and content creator, balancing ultra marathons with a full-time corporate career. Today's conversation centers on women who have recently taken on this race, 100 kilometers and 100 miles through the desert, while still holding full lives beyond running. This isn't about medals or bravado. It's about resilience, decision making under fatigue, and what endurance reveals when everything familiar is taken away. Let's welcome these amazing women ultra runners to the show. Welcome, ladies, to this very special episode of Run Play Go, where we celebrate not just running, but women ultra runners like all of you here today.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Shivani.
Thank you for having us.
I think it's in the background of this race, which is very aptly called the Hell Race, and all of you have aced it in your own manners, in your own distances. Rena, 100 miler, to really salute to you.
Thank you.
Nidhi, Sapna, Sugandha. You guys have done stuff which is only aspirational for most of the athletes. So to set the score and to get the questions rolling, Rena, I'll come to you first.
Yeah.
You've done the 100 miler this year
Right.
and you did the 100 km last year. So what told you immediately that Hell Race is unlike any other runs you have done previously? And what made you say yes to this?
So for the Hell Race, I'll say for the miler, I think the terrain and the weather together is basically the harsh heats in the afternoon and definitely the rolling hills, especially after 140 kilometer. So I'll say the race is not just about the endurance and the distance. I'll say it's more about the constant mental decision making for me, basically, because it tests your mental strength and as well as your endurance, definitely. So
Amazing. Nidhi, what made you say yes to a race as punishing as that race?
Well, yeah, punishment. So I'm very fond of punishments. Even if you ask my coach clearly, even if you ask my coach in my sessions, I am the only student who's the most naughty and I would get punished for everything. So, and the tougher it gets, the more I want to get it. That's my mantra. So when I read about the Hell Race and when I saw people doing it, so I was like, hell. Everyone wants to go to heaven. Let me try the hell.
How amazing. Sapna, when you heard about this race and when you signed up and then you were at the start line, what was going through your mind, not just as an athlete? You've been at many, many start lines. What was going through your mind as a person at that point?
Okay. Yeah. So first of all, hell race, right? I was actually at the start line, I was thinking and thanking God that I'm here. And that time I did not think about any pace or any distance or anything. I was just thinking about my family back, what promises I've made to myself, the way I have trained. I want to just be very, very strong at the finish line. That is what I was thinking about.
So it wasn't just a race. It
wasn't just a race.
Yeah.
There was it was more than a race. It was testing yourself, testing your metals. I think it was really more than a race.
Yeah. I think races like these, they actually build your character more than anything else.
Yeah, true that.
That's been my personal experience with running. Of course, my distance was 50. Not compared to all of you ladies here.
No, not at all.
50 is also-
Yes, 50 is also tough, yeah.
Respectable, totally.
So Sugandha, coming to you, we all have this sense of control that we enjoy in our lives in various aspects. In this race specifically, what tested your sense of control and what disrupted it during this race?
So to be honest, after doing a bunch of ultras this year, I knew that, okay, this is the way I have to manage my nutrition, my hydration. I was already in this whole mode of, figuring out what all can go wrong in terms of things that are in my control. So the food, nutrition, clothes, what you pack in your drop bags, is that, going to be enough? Am I carrying too much weight in my hydration bag? All of those things. And then obviously training all year. So I knew that, okay, fine. Worst comes to worst, I will make sure that I reach the finish line. But obviously, you plan in your head that, this is the time you will reach a certain point in the race, and this is the time you will finish it. So you create that mind map and you go stand at the starting line. And, I started the race, and in the first kilometer, I got this sensation in my left leg, which left me thinking like, oh my God, I have another 99 kilometers to go.
Correct.
I already have an issue at the first kilometer, and now at that point in time, I was just like, okay, this race is kind of out of my control. So, like how she mentioned that it's constant decision making.
Yes.
So I was also in that mode that, okay, fine, like I know I should trust my training. I know I can manage it for however long I can. But actually, that's the point where basically I lost control.
And there goes my control. Good. All that I planned for.
All that I planned for, and something so unforeseeable happened in the first kilometer. I'm like, okay, now is the real ultra.
And that's the magic of ultras, right?
Yeah, that's the magic of ultras.
Absolutely. So, Rena, what broke first for you during this race? The body, the mind, or the plan?
The plan, actually. Definitely the plan, I'll say. Because nothing went as planned, honestly. Not even exactly. Even I think from the first 10 kilometers. And after that, I think the moment I accepted things, everything was easier for me. So I always go by that one step at a time, one decision at a time. And that helped me a lot. And I'll say adaptability is everything. The moment you adapt, things becomes easier for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you want to share a little bit more about the plan breaking? What really went wrong? And I'm sure there must be some humor in that as well. Now when you look back at it.
Yeah. So honestly, the moment I started the race, initially it was fine, but gradually somehow I was feeling the heat definitely, which though I have done 100 kilometers there, but I wasn't expecting. And after some time, somehow I started feeling tingling sensation in my feet and a swelling also, which definitely post 100 was very tough for me. I changed my shoe, but then I have realized it's not going to be easy because the walk was also difficult for me. So I knew now I have to just keep moving and change my plan, and that's how it happened for me.
Right. So no pace, no timing.
No pace, no timing.
No.
I just wanted to get this medal home.
Absolutely.
So that was only my plan then.
And so you
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
So Nidhi, was there a training lesson that suddenly made sense to you during this run?
Yeah, so I have been always training for all my ultras. I used to get up at 3 a.m. the only solo runner in the entire Lodi area in Delhi around, who would get up at 3 a.m. and would run, and everyone would think that she's crazy because she can always run later, but why she's running at 3? But I'm very fond of rising up early and finishing my runs early before everyone starts. But while training for this, I had to train 50, 60, 70, 80 kilometers, which was my training runs. And one fine night, I had to train with her here in Gurgaon, where they were doing a group run. So I decided to train with them. This night was totally a different ball game for me because I experienced all that anxiety in the night, which I am not usually. I was sleepy at night, which I am not usually. And I just thought that I just cannot do night run because I'm very scared of dark. And Hell Race 100, I had always heard it's a lone run where you don't see people around you and it's in total dark. You just have to keep moving. You may see animals on the way. So I had all those skeptical things and I had those inhibitions.
Right.
But, and I had thought that by this training run, I would overcome those. But it got worse for me because this night at 42 kilometers, I just wanted to abort my run and leave and go back to Delhi and tell my coach that I'm sorry, I cannot do this run. But then suddenly, Raina was with me and then she was like that, no, we'll do it together. We'll walk it, light aa jayegi, we'll be fine. And whatever done. I mean, we completed the run. I did 71 kilometers that morning. And finally, after that also, there was this one thing which was always on my mind that I am very scared of dark. I'm very scared of being alone all through the run. So, main nahi kar paungi shayad. It's going to be a tougher thing for me.
Yeah.
But I would say after all the buzz about Hell Race, somehow those last 50 kilometers were the heaven for me.
Wow.
Because I just loved the terrain. I loved that route. I loved being alone at that moonlight. And I was just flowing like anything. When my coach used to tell me, don't walk, run, I was wanting to only run and not walk here. So this was, I believe that training 71 kilometer was a bigger lesson for me to overcome this entire terrain and this run.
So there are always those points, when, which is a change point.
Yeah.
And also, I think running is really not a solo campaign. You do need, especially for these, these distances which are.
So I always believe in ultra, it's all about improvisation. The day, time, and situation.
Correct.
You have to improvise. Maybe you're thinking something else, you're prepared for something else, but you have to do something else. So improvisation is the only word for the situation in an ultra.
Same way, adapt yourself.
Yeah, totally.
So Sapna, coming to you.
Yeah.
What decision do you think during the race that you took which saved your race?
Okay. First of all, for me, when the race starts, I'm a fast runner. So for me, it's like give your best in the beginning.
Yes.
Yes.
Like a lot of us. Go all out.
Yeah. So, but this time, few decisions that I had in my mind, which I had taken for myself, was run smart, not fast.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it was 100 kilometers. And I knew that till 50, I know I could manage very well with the rest of the pace. But after 50, I had to slow down. So this time I had planned that from the beginning itself, I will keep control on my pace. I will go slow, comfortable. Fueling was very important, which normally, I'm like, okay, if I have to have my gel or anything that I'm having during my race, is at maybe 8-9 kilometers. I was making sure that I'm having after every 6-7 kilometers. Fueling myself, hydration was very important. So yeah. Like always, I run fast. This time I thought, no, I have to go slow and finish strong. That was my trial.
Conserve.
Yeah. Conserve my energy till the end. Yeah.
So Sugandha, what carried you forward in the run when physical aspect stopped being enough?
So, like I told you earlier, I had an issue right from the first kilometer. So then I was like, okay, fine, let me, the basic milestone that I created for myself that, at this point I will reach in this much time. Let's see if I'm able to convert without actually pushing myself. Because in terms of endurance, the more you practice, the more like easier it feels to do that particular, at a particular pace and that distance. But then I was also like, because I have a physical challenge, so I'm not going to go all out and I'll just, see if whatever I'm able to convert. So I felt like I had 30, 50, 60 and 100 as my milestone points. I reached the 30 in the time I had targeted. I reached the 50 at the point where I actually finished my last year's 50. So I'm like, okay, fine. I think this is going fine despite taking plenty of breaks in the middle to, undo the situation which was anyways going on. I reached the 60-kilometer mark also at the time that I had thought. So I was like, okay, fine. Despite the challenge, I'm able to keep going. So let me go for it. And then after I left the 60 point, I reached the 70 point, and that's when I realized that I had developed a limp in my left leg. And that's when I knew that, okay, fine, now physically it's going to become a problem.
Yeah.
I was like, let me see how much I can push. I went in another 8 kilometers, and eventually I realized that my running pace was as much as my walk pace. So I was like, you know what, might as well just walk.
Might as well.
Because the plan of finishing the race in the time that I had thought is completely out of the window. And there's no point now in pushing myself because it makes absolutely no sense.
Yes.
It's better to reach the finish line than to reach the finish line in a condition where an injury becomes irreversible, because that's the main goal, that you finish in full form so that later also when you want to train you can. It's not like
Yeah.
you go and then you're on bed for 6 months and the rest of the year feels absolutely useless to you. So that's when I realized that, okay, fine, physical is done.
Correct.
Mentally I have to go. And I remember the last 22 kilometers I did in 4.5 hours, and they were absolutely brutal for me because it was cold, I was slow, there was no heat getting generated inside because it was like, there was absolutely like my heart rate was at normal. And I was like, okay, fine, like this is the toughest part. But I was like, I have to reach. I was very, very fortunate that I had a buddy with me who had been running from 40 kilometers until the end. So he was a huge pillar of support for me in the toughest time of my race. So he also kept with me. We kept each other company, and we reached the finish line.
Great.
So it's like logic takes over at
Absolutely.
some point in time.
Yeah.
And that's what saved the race actually. for me.
Yeah.
And again, the same point, running and especially ultra running is not a solo campaign.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I always feel that. Yeah. So, Rena, coming back to you, you spoke about this earlier, and we know that especially in border, there are a lot of these lonely stretches.
Yeah.
Where, and especially in a miler, 160 kilometers is a very long distance, and especially towards the end, then there are lesser and lesser people.
Yes.
Especially in the dark spots and the dark patches. So, so mentally, and we've spoken about this earlier.
Yeah.
Mentally, you're extremely fatigued. You're in that state where your body is kind of on its own now, right? So, what does it really do mentally to you when you're in a situation like that?
See, when you are alone and when you are extremely tired, honestly, I think your mind starts talking a lot.
Yes.
Definitely that time. Apart from that, doubts come in definitely. And then also, I think you become more honest with yourself, honestly. So in my case, I just had a single threat. I'll just stay calm and keep moving. So mentally, I always am very strong, honestly, and that helped me a lot. Even throughout the race, not even a single doubt came in my mind that I can't do this race. Whatever problems I had blisters, I had this. Even there was a point where walking was also tough for me. But I was determining, I was like, I can do this. And I was just keep moving. And I think the only thing is you have to be just stay calm and just think positive. That helps a lot.
Right.
Because the moment a negative thought comes in your mind, your race stops there with chess. That's what I always feel. So, and especially when you are alone in the solo patches, I always think, keep thinking how you'll cross the finish line.
Yes.
So,
And I'm sure there would be moments in patches which would be a little scary because actually there's nobody else inside and it's pitch dark and
yeah. So there were patches, honestly, but then again, I was not even scared at all, honestly. throughout the race. I had one friend from Kolkata. She was with me 100K somehow. I just saw her and we both started together. But then still we both were like, कि, ठीक है हम सोचेंगे नहीं यार, let's go. And we keep moving forward and let's help us.
Amazing, yeah. These are some of the lessons to be imbibed. actually.
Absolutely.
So, Nidhi, you have often spoken about the joy of running and running at your own pace. You have done a tremendous number of ultras in the last 1.5 years, and you corrected me that, what was the number?
6 official and 9 unofficial training ultras.
Yes, so that itself is a record.
Total 15
15 ultras in 18
in 21 months.
in 21 months is a record
Yeah.
in itself. So, so my question to you is, you enjoy running at your own pace, right? That's by and large the philosophy that you follow. So, did this race challenge or strengthen your philosophy of running at your own pace?
Okay, so this race genuinely strengthened my philosophy of running my race at my pace, because 100 kilometer is not a small distance. So far, I've been doing 60, 55, 72, 60, 55 again. This was my highest mileage distance so far in 1.5 years. And I have always believed that joy of running is that I know what I want to do. Coaching is a separate part where coach will give you a goal or something,
Yes.
but you have to abide by the plan. But joy is what you are doing, what you want to do.
Right.
But I believe over the years I have seen that runners have lost that joy in a competition, that I want to target this, I want to target that. Maybe see that's a kick for them
Mm.
and they want to get some time targets. For me, it is like I am not getting an Olympic medal. If I have to run that time target, then I should be below 3 hours. If I'm doing a 3 hour below run, then I'm doing something
Yeah.
else, then I am as good as getting a
Yeah.
medal at 5 hours also.
Yeah.
So then I'm not going to Olympics.
Yeah.
So why do I lose that joy of running?
Yeah.
Why to chase it?
Yeah.
I can chase my capability, right? But I should not be chasing others. That's the something which I always believe. And I saw people losing that joy of running. PB लाना है, ये time है, मैंने ये beat नहीं किया, I'm very upset about it. I believe that if you finished a run stronger,
Like so.
I would rather be dancing on my 100-kilometer finish line rather than crawling and being in an injury and being in a misery and going to an ambulance or looking for a help. So my joy of running is finishing my 100 kilometers dancing and being proud owner of that medal. So that's my thought,
Mm.
not challenging anyone else's thought.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what my joy of
So
running
this
is.
race actually strengthened that.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
this
And-
race strengthened that.
Yeah.
Yes, what I was been thinking for so long, my philosophy for myself just stand correct.
Mm.
It stands absolutely perfect for me.
And that manifested in this run as well for you.
Absolutely.
So Sapna, these kind of races are transformational journeys in their own ways for all of us, right?
Yeah.
And they say that when we are running these races, there are many sides of our personalities which come out to ourselves. Some of them are not known even to us. So, like Sugandha said, that there was a physical challenge at that point in time. So maybe what came out was mental strength in that, and so on and so forth. So for you in this race, which side of your personality was the strongest, which came out, and perhaps even surprised you?
What was the last thing that you said? I missed it.
Perhaps even surprised you.
Okay, surprised me. Okay, the personality actually that came out and I thought was my mother instinct. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, I wanted to really, at the beginning of the race, while I was running, like I said earlier, I was just preparing myself that I'm not
Yes.
going to go fast.
Yeah.
But during the race, yes, I was again, naturally pacing myself. I was running fast.
At
There-
50, you were bloody fast.
We met.
Yes.
Yeah. Then, like when I said it's a mother instinct, that time I thought, no, I have to take care of myself.
Yeah.
That's the instinct.
Mhm.
I have to really go slow, pamper myself, go one step at a time. Don't rush and finish. And that was the instinct that actually,
The nurturing, self-nurturing
self-nurture.
that you were able to bring back.
Yeah.
Kudos to you, because at that time I was almost dying. I had no other instincts. And you were racing past me almost at 50.
Yeah, we were kind of, I think we met after every kilometer.
We were little
Yeah.
back and forth
Yeah.
around
But
that
I'm
point.
sure if you were doing 100, you would have been also been running, because it's the mindset, the distance you decide that day that you have to do.
Yes.
You just do it. You
Correct.
just go for it.
Yeah.
See, honestly, I feel, if you decide that
Yeah.
I have to do a 50, your body accordingly starts moving.
Yeah.
And the moment you plan that you have to do 100,
Yeah.
so it's the mindset.
Mindset,
Yeah.
And your mind
Just
goes
switch.
accordingly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's how you train your mind.
So, Sugandha, you've spoken about the physical challenge that happened. So, first kilometer told you that it's going to be not an easy run, right? And I'm sure in that journey of 1 to 100, there would have been various points where that voice in your head might have come, which would have told you, it might just be easier to let it be this time. We don't have to finish all the runs. That's also logical side of our brain at times telling us. So what was that moment when you consciously killed that voice inside your head and you said, I'm going to finish this, come what may?
So honestly, for me, when I was doing the race, it was I'm sure most of us relate to this, that your target is never the 100 point, it's the next 10 point.
Yes.
So that you make your goal a lot more achievable, because you've broken down into smaller goals. So for me, it was always the next 10. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll reach the next 10, then the next 10, then the next 10. I kept going like that. When I reached the 80 point, that's when I don't think I ever thought of quitting.
Yeah.
But I did think in my mind that I just don't want to be injured. Like literally, that was all in my mind, that I've trained for so long for this, and the last thing I would want is for a race to spoil my rest of the training, because it's not like the last race.
Yes.
There are going to be a lot of races that are going to come in the future.
Miler next year?
I don't know.
We are definitely counting on
Why?
No,
This is her notion. Mine next year.
No, for me, that also led me to that. So my philosophy is never that you have to go progress the next distance every time. I always think that if you have picked up a distance, you should finish it strong. And my goal is that, if I was finishing 100, I should finish it running. If I do 100 miler, I should have trained myself enough so that I can reach that point running. Like this race for me, the 100, I know that, okay, fine, it was my first 100 and I wanted to finish it in one piece. And basically the target was to finish the race. But I know that it was not my best because of XYZ circumstances. And hopefully that the next time I do 100K, I'm going to be able to make the race a little bit more on my terms than the other way, because I know anything can go awry during a race, but little bit more on my side would help me maybe feel more in control and ensure that I finish the race basically on my terms.
Yeah, like Nidhi said earlier, run at my own pace.
Yeah.
And
I personally think that's also the secret of your being able to do so many ultras.
That's
the beauty of the
Such a-
ultra.
in such a short span of
That's
time.
a beauty
Beauty
of
of the
I
Absolutely.
think that's a beauty of
Yeah.
being a runner at this age,
Yeah.
because at this age we are not competing with anyone, and why should we?
Yeah.
I mean, after being a mother of 2 adult kids, I mean that's very kiddish to see that. Oh, she's running so many. I should also do that. Why? I'm not a school kid, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have your own brain.
Yes.
Correct.
Like, I'll tell you, I proposed them to do a 160. Raina and Sukriti, that you both should go for 161. So one fine day they asked me, why the hell are you doing 100 kilometers? So I simply and categorically said that because girls, तुम 161 करने के लायक हो, मैं नहीं हूँ.
This is my goal.
This is my goal.
And imagine,
and I'm
she
setting
told
the goal
us-
for you.
Imagine she told us and हम दोनों ने sign up भी कर लिया.
Anyways, finished.
And these girls signed up.
हाँ,
These girls signed up.
निधि ने बोला कर लेते हैं.
Yeah,
चलो
they signed up because निधि ने बोला है, and then they said चलो अब हम तीनों साथ करेंगे. मैंने कहा हाँ मैं तुम्हारे साथ 100 किलोमीटर तक चलूंगी, उसमें भी पीछे होंगी. And they're like, what? Aren't you doing 161? I said no man, I'm doing 100. They're like, तूने हमें क्यों कराया? मैंने बोला तुम कर सकते हो, मैं नहीं कर सकती हूँ. So you should know yourself.
Yeah.
I know that I will not be able to do that. That's not my goal.
Everything at your own pace.
Yeah.
Your own race at your own
It
pace.
has to be you. versus you. It can't be me versus someone else.
Right, like in my case, I love challenging myself. So I know ki I always see what my body can do actually. So I just want to see that. That's the reason I always try to do the next step.
And as we just saw, your body can do a lot.
Yes.
And I think I might go back to Myler again. Not this year, but yeah, soon.
So sticking to that, Reena, you have now done the complete format
Yeah,
of
yeah.
border. You've done the 100, and this year you did the
Myler.
miler. Now, and you might go back
Hmm.
for a stronger miler.
Yeah.
Now, coming from that background and that experience that you have now for border, what is that one non-negotiable all the future runners must prepare for this race?
I think for a miler, I can say what I have learned is patience and the positive mindset. Because see, I mean, it's for the 50, 100 also. But I think in miler, it was more applicable because as I said, nothing went as per
As
my
per
plan. 100 kilometer, I was almost 40 minutes behind my plan, honestly. So a few runners messaged me, that those who got DNF also basically, they messaged me how you manage because you crossed the 100 kilometer after 15 hours. How you still manage the miler to complete. I said because I never thought I can't do this. I was always in my head very positive that I can do this. And throughout the race, and I never give up. So I was in the mindset, I will try, I'll keep trying, and I know I can do this. So that was the mindset. So I always say keep the mindset positive and have the patience because you have to be stay calm also because when I crossed the 100, I knew I was 40 minutes behind the line. I was like, still let me give it a try. I'll do this. So patience also you have to. Definitely training and everything is there.
That's hygiene.
That's the mandatory part.
That's
I can
hygiene.
say yeah.
That in any
But
case is
then
a part of the
you
plan.
have to be stay calm.
Yeah.
You have to be just. That's what Nidhi said. Now you have
Yeah.
to adapt yourself that day according to your how your body is basically going through the thing, and then you have to just adapt.
So the biggest game changer in the miler is really the
mental strength. Yeah.
mental training.
Yeah. See, in anyhow, body always give up first. So mentally, how strong you are and how positive you are thinking, then that only helps you to cross the finish line. That's what I always believe. Yeah.
Correct. So Nidhi, who should not sign up for this race?
थोड़ा देसी पे जवाब दूं. As I'm known to be very candid and point blank. So जिस मैराथनर को ये लगता है कि रेस 50 ही तो है, 100 ही तो है, आई एम अ स्पीड रनर, कर लेंगे यार 50. That person should not sign up an ultra. Please don't disrespect an ultra.
Yeah.
Ultra is a very different ball game. It's a run. It's a passion. You have to be a passionate runner before being. You have to be passionate before being a runner. So स्पीड मारनी है 42-21 में मारो. बहुत सारे मैराथन इवेंट्स है. अल्ट्रा में तभी आना जब पैशनेट रनर बनना हो. So that's my advice that स्पीड वीड अपनी खत्म करके यहाँ मस्ती करने, एंजॉय करने, चिल करने आओ. अपनी रेस करने आओ, किसी और के लिए रेस करने मत आओ. मेडल फिर भले ही मिले ना मिले, दैट्स अ सेकेंडरी थिंग. But ultra is a game of love and passion for running. I believe that.
And it's a long game.
It's a long game. So I believe in लंबी रेस का घोड़ा. So अगर लंबी रेस के घोड़े हो तो आ जाओ. फिर चाहे ना मेडल मिले तो दुनिया गधा कहे, लेकिन that's okay. You ran your race.
Yeah.
You ran your race.
So Sapna, continuing on that frame that it's a long game.
Yeah.
Right. So on that day, while the race is happening, the preparation for the race started probably a year in advance, especially for these kind of distances, the 100, the milers, right?
Yeah.
So months in advance. So what should runners start doing, let's say several months in advance, to survive this race? What is it that you've done and you would highly recommend?
First of all, if you plan to do such races, you have to, keep a mindset that you have to train yourself in discomfort. Okay, that's very important. Train yourself when you're really tired.
Yeah.
Train yourself, like fueling yourself. When you're not hungry, still you have to keep, fueling. Train yourself when you're feeling sleepy, right? Even if you're tired, sleepy, go run. That is what really matters, See, the real challenge starts after 50 kilometers. You know, when it is dark, those are your sleeping hours. So that is where, the runners have to understand, train in those conditions. That is what I would give advice to the runners. So, yeah.
Sugandha, what is the most honest question runners should be asking themselves before registering for this? We saw so many DNFs, right? And not just at the extreme end of the race. We saw a lot of DNFs happening, even at 25, 30, 35 this year.
Yeah.
It's a combination of heat come a very difficult terrain. So, like Nidhi said, that if you're a half marathoner or even if you're a full marathoner, the game is very different there.
Yeah.
Right. So while we all want to challenge ourselves and we want to up our game with every new format, but what absolutely must be the honest question that anybody who's wanting to do the race now should be asking?
I think the question is to yourself that who are you doing it for and why. So in today, like I do content creation, right? And I've seen a lot of people also doing content creation around running, and now there's this whole trend going on that we have to do an ultra because you have to
Yes.
do it, kind of a thing.
That's what I
And
mean.
it feels like so much like peer pressure than anything else, that you have to prove yourself to your audience by doing an ultra because that's going to give you some level of validation.
Yeah.
So if that's the reason you have signed up, then that's not a good reason, because this race, like Nidhi said, it is you versus you.
Yeah.
When you are in those moments of discomfort and pain, and when you're alone for those long stretches, it's not your Instagram that's going to keep you going. It's going to be just you, right?
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, first of all, it's a huge commitment. It's not something you can just wing it. Like you have to put in that months and years of training, of doing, mileage, of doing strength training, of doing a proper recovery, eating right,
Yeah.
getting your entire lifestyle together just so that you can convert that one race. So that commitment required is not going to be based on a fad which is suddenly gaining a lot of trend right now. It
Yeah.
has to be a huge commitment to yourself. So if at the starting line, that's the reason you signed up, you will most likely find yourself in DNF or injured, or it would just be like, okay, this is done and that's it, and probably
Yeah.
you'll never come and do an ultra again. But the ones who do keep showing up, like Nidhi said, are the ones who are really, really passionate about the sport, and they do the sport because they want to do it and not because they saw somebody else achieve their goals and that's what they want to do.
So I want to add something to this. Like Sugandha just said that peer pressure. So I've always heard this word with the school kids. उन्हें बड़ा peer pressure होता है. मम्मा मेरा friend BMW में आया था, हमारे पास क्यों नहीं है? आज मेरे friends club में जा रहे हैं, हम क्यों नहीं जा सकते? So this peer pressure coming to 40-year-old people
Yeah.
and 50 and 60, 70-year-old people is a very
in the form of ultras.
in the form of ultras. So I really decided that anyways I was deciding that this is my last ultra distance, because after 100 I will not do any other ultra.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. I would do a lesser distance.
Next
an
year, same
ultra.
time, next year, same time, we'll do another show.
I may do another ultra lesser than 100, but
Yes.
एक वर्ड मैंने अपनी मॉम से सुना था कि बेटा पागलपन की कोई लिमिट होती है. तो मुझे लगा शायद ये लिमिट होनी चाहिए पागलपन की.
ये I'll tell you, जब मैं माइलर करके आई थी, I said I'll not do this again, and now I'm saying that I might go back again.
So my question was, what time next year does the registration for Miller start?
June, July, I guess.
Yeah, so we shall have a follow-up.
Okay. Right.
So Rena, starting with you first. Day heat or night cold? What's that?
Definitely day heat, because it drains you slowly.
I thought night heat, when all those
Night heat.
hallucinations are also happening in the background,
I
and
think
all the
next day
sounds
heat,
are also coming.
the next day heat kills you more, I guess.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so day heat.
Yeah, day heat.
Nidhi, one thought that kept you going.
Hell yeah. In the true sense.
Sapna, one thing that you packed that truly mattered.
My mind lasted longer than my body.
Good one. Sugandha, one thing that you packed that didn't matter.
I think my race plan.
Nice.
That's a good one.
So Rena, coming back to you again, the lowest moment of the race.
When walking was also, I felt, when walking was also felt very heavy, I guess, yeah. because I think towards the end, walking was very tough for me. So,
But you prevailed.
yeah.
Nidhi, one word to describe the hill race, which you already have done, but yeah, try again.
Honor.
Wow.
It's an honor to be in this race and finishing it.
Sapna, what surprised you about yourself?
That I stayed and I slayed.
Wow.
Yes.
Sugandha, would you do it again?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No questions there.
No questions there.
I think all of us
I think
want to do
all
it
of us.
again. Even you will go
Yeah.
for 100.
Yeah.
Looking at all of you,
Yeah.
and more than all of you, looking at these medals.
Yes.
Now this,
I'm not
this-
carrying mine.
This needs to be placed.
No, I have 50 also.
And see, I'm not carrying mine.
Honestly,
So-
in my case, though, people thought ki I can't finish it. So this is the answer to me.
That should be the answer.
This is
I'm proud of myself and I'm happy also, definitely.
And I'm
And I'll
proud
go
of
back
you.
again.
I'm proud of
And
you.
I'm proud of you.
And that's the reason मैंने तुझे hell में धकेला.
मैं दोबारा भी जाऊंगी यार.
and I think and I think what Reina just said is why all of us in the first place
Yes.
take up these challenges.
When I was training for it, and people used to ask me, "What are you training for?" I told them 100 kilometers. So that itself was, a surprise for many people. That are you really going to run 100 kilometers?
Yes.
So that's like people can't relate to.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not talking about the runners, but otherwise,
Yeah.
where I train and then I see most of the walkers there, and if you tell them that you're going to run 100 kilometers, that itself is like, okay, we cannot even drive for 100 kilometers. You're going to run 100 kilometers.
And the follow-up question, but why?
Are you mad?
This why I usually ask when I am driving to my run route in the morning for trainings and others are running. यार क्यों run कर रहा है यार ये? 5 मिनट बाद मैं भी इसी ट्रैक पे आने वाली हूँ, पर अभी ये क्यों run कर रहा है बेकार में? सुबह सुबह उठ के. But those are, I think, for me it is like it's a run high because my girls who are adults who think that I'm mad and crazy and I would do all these distances. But the best part was that before my race, my daughter calls up from her hostel and her friends are sitting in front of her and she's wanting to flaunt that. She's calling me and saying, "Mom, what distance are you going to run day after tomorrow?" 100. See, my mom is going to run 100. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm a mad mom and today you're flaunting my distance.
Those are her bragging rights.
So I was like, okay, yeah, you can brag it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I think in my case, I think
Your why, Reina. I think your why is very important.
why I think Nidhi only asked me to sign up for the run. Honestly. So I signed up earlier, but training I started very late. I wasn't well for a long time. And even during the training, half of the time I wasn't well. So somehow that's why I said I wasn't well prepared for this. But still, I was sure that I will do this. So, I mean, I
was
don't know why
always
so
sure.
many people had so many doubts. I have no idea still. And the funny part is, my mom called me before the race and she said, "अगर नहीं हो तो छोड़ देना, मरने की जरूरत नहीं है." I said, यार किसकी मॉम ऐसे बोलती है यार, मुझे करने तो दो. And she like, नहीं I said, और जब हो जाता है ना, they say very proudly, my daughter did this. I said, हाँ ठीक है. So I think the overall experience was definitely a good. Overall, even training also, though I trained in a very short time for the miler thing, but then I'm very happy, thanks to Win also, definitely. And yeah. So why is, as I said, I want to challenge myself always and I want to see what my body is capable of. And
And it was a point to prove to yourself.
Yeah. I want to add something on this because on doubting, every ultra, my coach used to I always used to ask him, मैं कर लूंगी ना? He was like, हाँ कर लेगी, मुझे पता है तू कर लेगी. And I was also every time like sure कि हाँ ठीक है मैं कर लूंगी. And my mom and parents used to always say that पागल है, she's mad, क्यों करना है ये सब. I used to always ignore. This was the only race where my mom never asked me what distance are you going to run because I think they had given up on me. And my husband always knew that I'm mad, so he never asked me. I mean, he never doubted me. In fact, he told me that why are you doubting yourself कि रात को नहीं कर पाऊंगी, you will be able to do it. And my coach, when I asked him, sir, मुझे इस बार बहुत टफ लग रहा है, आखिरी अल्ट्रा कर रही हूँ इस साल की, कहीं ब्लैक मार्क ना आ जाए मेरे प्रोफाइल पर. तो ही इज लाइक, नहीं नहीं, यू विल 100% डू इट, मुझे पता है तो करके आएगी. ऐसे यार इस बार सब उल्टा हो रहा है मेरे साथ. जब मैं डाउट कर रही हूँ तो बाकी लोग कितने कॉन्फिडेंट हैं. एंड आई एम आस्किंग माय फ्रेंड आल्सो, लाइक हु इज माय इंस्पिरेशन फॉर अल्ट्रास. बाय द वे, my friend Sanjeev Kuleri is my inspiration for the ultra running, because मैंने ultra क्या होता है heard from him only, and he himself is a very good ultra runner, so I really got inspired that seriously ऐसी भी कोई चीज होती है कि आप ultra runs करते हो. So he also told me, अरे कोई अंधेरा नहीं होगा, you will be able to do it. I'm like, सब लोग मेरे ऊपर कितना confidence
And it
लेके
was
बैठे हैं.
actually a moonlight.
हाँ.
moonlit
Yeah.
night this
It was
time.
moonlit night.
This time it was much better.
Full moon.
actually, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
there was
much
actually,
light.
there was
Yeah,
actually
there was so
no
much
darkness
light.
this
So
time.
I actually did not put on my
Yeah.
torch on my
Yeah.
head.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
holding it in my hand.
It was very bright
Yeah,
light.
it was a very bright light.
It
But
was
very
honestly,
difficult to go to the loo in that light. Actually.
Yeah.
I had to find a, seriously, you couldn't just go on the side. It was
Yeah,
so like lit.
yeah.
I had to go behind the sand dune all the way.
I went post 100 when there were less people. I said that's the only time I
Did
came.
you? Acha, I went to washroom 7 times.
I also, I think
Telling the
that's
army
right.
people that sir, please मैं आपकी कार के पीछे वॉशरूम जा रही हूँ, आप जरा ध्यान रखना.
Yeah, मुझे तो पीछे sand dune पे जाना था, and when I put on the light and I got out, the people got scared also. कौन आ रहा है?
Yeah, these are some of the actually this is one of the stress.
Yeah.
Going to the loo and ultra is actually pretty tough for women.
So I'll
Yeah.
tell you, when I did
No,
100 night was
it's
not
the
the full moon.
easiest.
No, no.
You hold it to high
Maybe-
tide, no?
So when it was not full moon, now when I did 100, so you know what I did? I just switch off my headlight, get in the road and switch it on and walked away. I said that's the only option. But this time you can't do it on the road, so you have to just look for the options.
But I think going to washroom in ultras is the easiest. कहीं भी चले जाओ.
Especially the night runs.
Yeah, and we started training for this right on the way from Delhi to Jaisalmer. Don't you remember?
Oh, well,
God.
that's
That was one hell of a
That was
journey,
a
by the way.
hell
That
of a
was one hell of a journey.
But then it was an exciting journey.
Yes.
I think Indigo decided to join hands
Yes.
in giving us the full experience of the hell.
Yeah.
Their hell started from Delhi.
Why should we land in luxury?
एंड मुझे लगता है कि रनिंग हिस्ट्री में पहली बार ऐसा हुआ होगा कि कोई
First
रूट रेकी ही अपना रूट की
Yes,
जैसलमेर तक कर रहा है.
13 hours.
13 hours route recce we did.
But it was fun.
It was fun.
It was fun.
But I think the overall starting from the airport till the race
Till the
finish,
race
I
finish.
think it
Yeah,
was.
हम काफी एक्साइटेड रहे, हमें टेंशन में आने का टाइम नहीं मिला.
And honestly, I'll tell you, Shivani, not even a single point it was where, even during the race, you know, where there was one thing in my mind, I didn't want to quit.
Mhm.
I wanted to go on. And the finish was so strong.
Actually, we were together and we sprinted for 300 meters. When we saw the light, I was like, सपना light दिख रही है, वही finish है. चल भागे यहाँ से.
And honestly, I mean, it was a very strong finish and the recovery was also very good. So, you know, I was
Yeah.
happy with that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
In my case, I saw Vin and he's like, yeah, finish line आ गई. So, चल भागते हैं. Walk भी नहीं हो रहा, भागते रहो. Then I just, but
Well, that's
I mean-
a miler finish. So
Miler
yeah,
finish.
but he was there.
सब
He
कुछ
was there.
सब कुछ बनता है.
Yeah, सब कुछ बनता है.
So net. This run is for girls. Yes, no, maybe, or 100%.
100%.
100%.
दुनिया को दिखाना है कि जिन्हें डाउट है आके देख ले फिनिश लाइन पे.
100%. People think it is not a safe run, but it is safe.
It is
I
a
did
safe
Miler,
run.
honestly, there are patches, lonely patches, but then the still safe.
I think there needs to be awareness among the local populations.
Yeah,
because ना उनको समझ नहीं आता है हो क्या रहा है.
वो क्या है.
Also, a lot of times they're not used to women wearing shorts and running. तो उनको वो पूरा अजूबा सा, you know, they feel like this is something out of the ordinary, and I think that
ऑल दिस इज फाइन, बट आई ऑलवेज बिलीव कि अगर आप कोई रेस करने जा रहे हो तो आप उसके बारे में R&D करके जाओ ना. अगर आप you can always tie up or you can always dress up. See, dress up, I don't comment on that because everyone is very comfortable in their own attire. You always have to wear what is required to be done. But I believe कि थोड़ी R&D हमें as runners भी करके जानी चाहिए rather than blaming the race people altogether.
no, not race people. What I mean is like the general population.
The local
Local
population.
population.
Yeah, because we heard many incidences where locals were a little weird.
Actually, I was with,
with-
I that happened with me twice.
Oh, that happened
Okay.
with you?
Yeah.
Oh, we
So
heard that.
basically, there were some 3 boys on the bike, and they passed a comment and they went. Luckily, I had a person with me, so he shouted at them. So they were very blunt in answering back that we will do whatever we want to do.
Oh, really?
That is a little problem.
That is a problem.
And that was with, there was a crowd of people, right?
Right.
So what happens if you're alone and this happens? Even if they won't do
You
anything,
get scared.
it's an
Yeah,
anxiety
yeah.
moment, right?
It creates a very unpleasant moment for you. Already.
It happened with me when I did 100 kilometer. Honestly, I told Nidhi also.
She told me.
I was that time only 120 runners only. So when 120 runners, there was a almost 10 kilometers आगे पीछे कोई नहीं है. So I saw 7-8 guys on the bike, and I was like, अब क्या करूँ? And they were like, जय माता दी. I said, जय माता दी. I said, तो border है यार, कुछ नहीं होगा.
Join the gang.
I think हाँ ठीक है. अच्छा ठीक है. तो 2 मिनट के लिए I realized, but then after that was then उसके बाद मुझे लगा यार नहीं सब सेफ है. 100 miler में this time somehow मुझे कुछ भी डर नहीं लगा.
अच्छा लोग भी ज्यादा हो गए, so that
Yeah.
This is what I heard. That this year
There were
this year there were lots of people.
Army का support बहुत था throughout.
Yeah. Army support was there.
Remember even a single lonely stretch, even in the 100
Yeah.
kilometer.
Actually,
कोई ना कोई आपको
कोई ना कोई आपको दिख जा रहा था.
दिख रहा था. That's what I'm
So
saying.
that's what I was about to say, that the number of people has gone up.
Yeah.
So, and in the next couple of years, I see actually as many women.
Yes.
In fact, I felt that already this
Already,
year.
yeah. I felt that.
Yeah.
मुझे लगा women ज्यादा थी
I
actually.
felt that too. Actually, we should look
Even
at
if
it.
it's miler also, there
we
are
should-
more.
50 किलोमीटर में तो कितनी पार्टी लग रही थी.
You shouldn't look down at a lesser distance.
I respect the 10 kilometer also.
So in fact, it'd be interesting to see the data of genders in this race. I think women numbers were extremely high.
much higher than the previous
Much higher than
years,
the
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. And I'm feeling the next couple of years it'll be probably higher than the men. The way
That's
it is
going to be
now.
amazing.
Yeah.
एक time ऐसा आना चाहिए तो it should be all women's race.
More power to women in
More
Yeah,
power
yeah,
to women.
Chalo guys, shall we wrap?
Yes. I want to add one thing for my coach.
Karo.
So whatever said and done, we may say, I am my inspiration. Somebody is my inspiration. But yes, one thing which I can never, ever ignore in my life and let it go is my coach. My coach, Kagan Arora, is the only reason behind me doing all these crazy distances because मुझे पता है, for a person like me, it's not easy to train. I'm a very rigid person. I was a very rigid person. कि मैं छोटे लूप में नहीं भागूंगी, लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस ही भागना है, लंबाई जाना है, इतने ही बजे स्टार्ट करना है. सो ही एट एवरी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम ही मेड एवरीथिंग पॉसिबली इम्पॉसिबल फॉर मी कि जो मैं कह रहा हूँ वही करना है बिकॉज यू डोंट लाइक दिस.
Break down everything.
He used to break down on everything. अगर मैं बोलूंगी हाइड्रेशन बैग से ही भागना है, ही वुड से आज हाइड्रेशन बैग हटा दो, आज घड़ी हटा दो, नहीं भागना, जो मैं बता रहा हूँ वो करना है. एंड आई हेट बीइंग टोल्ड. So this was initial level challenge for me, but at the end of the day I'm really grateful that he did that with me because ultra is all about discomfort. और अगर आप comfortable zone में अपने हिसाब से भागते रहोगे तो you will not crack it.
Yes.
And I
I
think-
think it's about breaking down the resistance.
Absolutely.
And
जो आप
also
करना चाहते हो वही आपको नहीं करना because उस दिन आपको नहीं पता कि आपके साथ क्या होने वाला है. So I believe that my total mental game was his danda. That's why I always get punished.